Most people don't realize they're being manipulated until the damage is already done. It doesn't start with shouting. It doesn't start with threats. It starts with small shifts, subtle guilt, tiny lies, emotional pressure disguised as care. Manipulators don't overpower you physically. They overpower your perception. And if you don't understand the game, you'll keep reacting instead of controlling. So if you want to beat manipulators at their own game, you don't become manipulative. You become unplayable. Let's break it down. First, understand the core weapon, emotional control. Manipulators study reactions. They test boundaries. They throw small provocations to see what triggers you. If you react strongly, they've found your entry point. Anger, they'll provoke it. Insecurity, they'll press it. Need for approval, they'll withhold validation. The first technique is simple but powerful. Control your reaction. When they expect anger, give calm. When they expect explanation, give silence. When they expect panic, give indifference. Nothing destabilizes a manipulator more than emotional discipline, because they cannot control what they cannot predict. Second, stop over-explaining yourself. Manipulators thrive on information. The more you talk, the more angles they gain. You explain your intentions. They twist your words. You justify your boundaries. They call you defensive. You clarify your feelings. They weaponize them later. Powerful people speak less. They say what's necessary, nothing more. Short responses, neutral tone, no emotional essays. You don't owe anyone a 10-paragraph explanation for your standards. Third, reverse the pressure. When someone tries to manipulate you, they often accuse, guilt, or confuse. You're overreacting. You're too sensitive. You always do this. Instead of defending yourself immediately, ask a calm question. What do you mean by that? Can you explain specifically? When exactly did I do that? Now they have to justify their claim. Manipulators hate clarity. They prefer fog. Questions remove the fog, and when the spotlight shifts onto them, they become uncomfortable. Fourth, never reveal your strategy. Manipulators prepare for resistance. If they know your plan, they'll adapt. If you're planning to leave, don't announce it. If you're building independence, don't advertise it. If you're setting boundaries, don't negotiate them in advance. Move quietly. Silence is not weakness. Silence is preparation. The less they know, the less they can control. Fifth, recognize gaslighting immediately. Gaslighting is when someone makes you question your memory, perception, or reality. That never happened. You're imagining things. You're crazy. The moment you feel confusion replacing certainty, pause. Don't argue emotionally. State facts calmly. I remember it differently. That's not how I experienced it. We don't agree. You don't need to win the argument. You need to maintain your mental ground. The goal is not to convince them. The goal is to protect your clarity. Sixth, detach from validation. Manipulators often control through approval. They give affection when you comply. They withdraw when you resist. If your self-worth depends on their approval, you are controllable. The solution? Build validation internally. You don't need applause to know your value. You don't need agreement to stand firm. When you stop chasing approval, you become immune to emotional reward systems, and once they realize they can't hook you with praise or punishment, their power weakens. Seventh, observe patterns, not words. Manipulators are skilled speakers. They apologize beautifully. They promise passionately. But patterns never lie. If someone repeats the same behavior after every apology, the apology is manipulation. If someone only respects your boundaries when they benefit, that's strategy, not respect. Stop listening to speeches. Start studying cycles. Patterns expose truth. Eighth, delay your responses. Manipulators create urgency. Answer me now. Why aren't you responding? We need to decide immediately. Urgency forces emotional decisions. Powerful people take time. I'll think about it. Let me get back to you. I'm not deciding right now. Time breaks pressure, and pressure is their tool. Ninth, set boundaries once, not 10 times. When you repeat a boundary over and over, it becomes negotiable. State it clearly. I'm not discussing this. I'm not comfortable with that. That doesn't work for me. Then stop. No emotional debate. No long justification. If they continue pushing, that tells you everything you need to know. 10th, be willing to walk away. This is the ultimate power move. Manipulators rely on your attachment, your fear of loss, your need for connection. The moment they sense you're willing to leave, the dynamic shifts. Because the strongest position in any interaction is the ability to exit. Not dramatically, not emotionally, calmly, silently, decisively. Now here's something most people won't tell you. You don't beat manipulators by outplaying them with tricks. You beat them by becoming psychologically disciplined, calm under pressure, clear in perception, controlled in emotion, selective with words. When you are not reactive, not desperate, not seeking validation, manipulation has no entry point. That's the real secret. It's not about becoming darker. It's about becoming stronger. And strength is quiet. Strength observes. Strength waits. Strength chooses when to engage and when to withdraw. If you master your reactions, your boundaries, your silence, and your detachment, you don't just survive manipulation. You outgrow it. And once you outgrow it, you'll notice something interesting. Manipulators stop choosing you because predators look for emotional openings, and you no longer have any. That's how you win. Not by playing the game, but by refusing to be played. If you're serious about mastering psychological awareness, emotional discipline, and power dynamics, check the link in the bio. There's deeper knowledge there, the kind most people ignore until it's too late. Learn the patterns. Understand the mind. Strengthen your control. Because once you understand the game, you don't fear it anymore.